Hey guys, so I have another creative makeup look for you guys today. This is very inspired by Alex Eckman Lawn. I will have him and his artwork linked down below if you guys want to check it out. And let's just get into it. So the first thing that I did was I took the Smashbox primer water and I sprayed it all over my face. As you guys can see, I also glued down one of my eyebrows. I also patted in the Makeup Forever Pore Minimizing Primer into my pores. I'm doing the first step of sketching now. I am just drawing like an oval shape on the one side of my face. I'm going to go back and sketch in other things, but for now I'm just doing the general shape. This is the CoverGirl Healthy Vitalist Elixir Foundation. I mixed this with the NYX Foundation Mixer in white because this shade is like way too dark for me. But yeah, I just patted that all over my face with a beauty blender, and then I took the Tarte Shape Tape and I just started to highlight my face. So I did that underneath my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, chin, forehead, just all the places that you normally highlight. I'm not doing the right side, because that would be pointless because we're going to just be putting paint on top and eyeshadow. This is the NYX Conceal Contour Correct palette, and I am just starting to liquid contour my face. So I'm doing that on my cheekbones and also on my nose, and it's kind of cool doing this because like I feel like you can really see, this is almost like a power of makeup thing, like the process at least, because you can see like the difference between my actual skin and then like my skin with foundation and shit on top. I think it's kind of interesting. But anyway, yes, I'm just blending out that liquid contour, and then we are setting my face with the Smashbox Photo Filter Powder. Now we're going to bake and like highlight. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me Translucent Powder. I've been loving this for baking lately. I am just putting this underneath my eyes and like down the sides of my nose and also on my chin and my forehead. Now we're going to get to the creepy side of the face. So I am sketching in like the two layers of, I don't know what it is. The two layers before you get to the face, basically. And then I'm going to start sketching in the face, which is partially hidden by the layers of like, I guess just like hollowed out skin or whatever. But yeah, so I'm doing what, just the face, eyes, nose. It basically only has eyes and a nose. It doesn't have a mouth or anything. Now we're going paint. So this is the Mehron 30 AQ palette, and I am just starting with like the first, I don't know, like crevice or whatever of skin, the first like layer. And I did this by mixing dark brown and a little bit of gray paint, and every time I lay down paint, I'm going in with a sponge and I'm just tapping it, and this just helps the paint lay down like evenly or more evenly. And then I'm going in and doing a second like row or whatever, and this one's a little bit farther back, so it's a little bit lighter and a little bit warmer. And I did this with the lighter brown and a little bit of orange and a little bit of white. Now we're going to start painting this lady's skin. So her skin is the paint called Philao, which I'm never going to know how to pronounce. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what it's called, and that's what it is when I sound it out. And I mixed it with a ton of white because my lady's a white lady. So we mix this together and we just lay down the paint, and then I'm tapping it out with that sponge. To set that skin tone shade, I am taking the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. I'm taking the shade Sheer Joy, and I'm just laying that down on top of my lady's skin. Who would have thought? I literally use this palette for like every single creative look ever. But then I'm starting to shade in the nasty layers of skin. So I'm doing that with Java, and I'm just basically making like folds and crevices and stuff, and just shading them, and just adding more depth. You guys know I love that word, to the like skin as it goes back. With Noir from the Naturally Pretty palette, I am starting to add even more like shading to this look. So I'm doing that, and I'm doing it to like just in a couple places, not everywhere. I'm doing it to separate the two layers, and then I'm also doing it to kind of separate my skin from these, just nasty ass crevices. I'm creating a sort of like tunnel effect to the top area of the face, and I'm doing this with black paint. I'm just like painting that up there. It's just supposed to look like it's like fading into nothing, basically. And then I'm taking All Heart from the Naturally Pretty palette, and I'm starting to kind of define this lady's eyes and her nose. I'm also creating shading around where like the layers of skin hit this lady's face, so I'm doing that with All Heart as well. With the Sephora watercolor palette, I'm taking like the really light blue, and I am just adding like a little bit more depth to this lady's skin. I love that word. And just like more blue tones to her face. I also add a little bit of blush to her cheeks with like the blushy kind of tangerine shade from the Sephora watercolor palette. And then I'm going in with Java, and I'm starting to really define this lady's nose. I'm giving her a nostril, giving her just a little bit more definition to her eyeballs. Just, you know, I'm hooking her up. With white from the Maybelline palette, I'm doing the whites of her eyes. I'm just painting those. And then once I get done painting those, I am painting the irises. So I'm doing that with like the very light blue from the Maybelline palette. She's coming to life, guys. I'm taking Noir from the Naturally Pretty palette, and I'm just defining around her eyes, just like outlining them basically. And I also am giving this lady a nice little pupil, so I'm just doing that with like a dot of Noir in the middle of her eyes. We also need a little bit more of a fade with that black for like the tunnel part or the top part. So I'm taking Noir and I'm just fading that into the face. With Dagger from the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette, I just add a little bit more of like gray shading to where those layers of whatever the heck hit the face. And then I took white from the Kat Von D palette and I just shaded like around the cheekbones and the forehead. And this is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Liner. I gave my lady like a little outline around her eyes. And I believe I didn't give her lashes yet, but I also gave her a nostril. So there's that. With the Naturally Pretty palette again, because this is my baby, I took Java and I started to define like around the nose a little bit more. Wanted to get those nostrils in there a little bit more solidly, and I gave my lady an eyelid. With black paint, I gave my lady a little bit of lashes, and I also lined around her iris. NYX foundation mixer. So I took Deep and I started to define like around the face, gave her a nostril with it, and also gave her some eyebrows. With Java again, I wanted to make like a little bit more of a fade to the eyebrows so that they're not so, I don't know, intense. So I just faded a little bit of shadow on the front, and then I gave my girl some more eyelashes because she needed more eyelashes, at least I thought. With a Deep from the NYX foundation mixers, I'm just starting to add even more definition around the face. I'm defining like her nose a little bit more. I'm defining those eyelids, just getting in sort of like the wrinkles around the eyes, just making her look more, you know, solid. And then I took with the white foundation mixer and I started the beginning layers of highlights. So I'm doing those like around the nose, around the eyes, and I'm just kind of dotting some little highlights on there. I'm also giving her a little highlight on her cheekbone. And yeah, I like to build up my highlights. So this is like the first layer, and then I start to go in with more intense highlights. This is Cherish from the NYX Live of the Day liners. It's like a light pink, so I just dotted some of that around her waterline, and then I took the white NYX liquid liner and I started to add the final layer of highlights. So I'm just adding dots around her eyes, and on like her iris, around where her eyes are defined, her cheeks, just like all over her nose, and it's just really starting to bring her to life, I think. I wanted to add a little bit more of those subtle highlights with the NYX foundation mixer in white, so that's what I'm doing. I just added a little bit more dots of highlights with those, taps them out, and then left them a little bit more defined. This is a NYX vinyl liquid liner. I can't remember the name, but I'll have it in the description box. I'm just adding a little bit more like lines around the skin, and then I took Feel Out and I just added some highlights to those layers of skin, just some little lines of highlights. And then I took the NYX white liquid liner and added some even more intense like dots and lines of highlights around the folds. Now we're on to the normal makeup part. I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape and I just put that on my lid to act as like a primer or a base or whatever. And then I took the Give Me Glow Cosmetics Stable Palette and I took WCW and I just went back and forth in my crease with that. For highlight, I chose the Skull shade from the Pastel Goth palette, just highlighted my brow bone. And then, what is that? It is No Filter. I went back and forth with that just to add like a little bit more warmth to the eye. And then I took Dark As My Soul, all from the same palette, and I just really defined out that eye, just back and forth. Wanted it to just look way more intense. And also down below, same thing. I thought Dark As My Soul needed a little bit more of like a fade, so I took Adorbs and I just went back and forth, and yeah, I just created more of a fade into that crease color. And then I took, what is that? It's Follow Me. I put that all over my lid and also down below on my lower lash line. Once I got done doing that, I took my concealer and I carved out the middle of my lid, and I created like a halo eye because I'm obsessed with halo eyes a little bit. But once I carved that out, I took a Selfie and I put that on the middle of the lid. And it just created like this really pretty like coppery rose goldy like halo eye. I'm really digging it, honestly. And these like metallics from this palette are just so damn good. After that, I took Hex from the NYX Lip of Days, and I just wanted to carve out that like top part of that halo eye. Hex is basically just Selfie in liquid liner form. It's actually kind of cool. But yeah, then I took the Smashbox Always On liquid liner, and I just gave my lady some hair because I just felt like she needed a little bit of something to like frame her face. And like her hair looks real creepy and stringy, and I just thought it added to it a little bit. I also added some lines of definition with the Smashbox Always On liquid liner, just like around the concaves of the face to make it look a little bit more defined. And then I took the NYX foundation mixer in white and just added a little bit of shine to the lady's hair. Just added some like dots of glowy shine or whatever. And I gave myself a cat eye. I also did my eyebrows how I normally do them. And I'm starting to contour. So this is the Maybelline Master Contour. It's in light, and I just put a little bit underneath my nose, a little bit underneath my lips, and contoured my cheekbones as well. And then I took Exposed from Tarte, a Tarte blush, and I just did a little bit of blushing all around my face. It's like a very like earthy tone blush. I felt like it went with the whole aesthetic of the look. This is All Heart from the Naturally Pretty palette, and I just wanted to make it look like my skin was kind of lifting a little bit so that it didn't look so stark. So I'm just doing some kind of wrinkles around the skin so that it looks more like my face is opening up. And I add a little bit of definition with All Heart as well to my face, like my Cupid's bow. Yes, and then this is Java. I took Java and I started to kind of define around the face a little bit, like where it lifts a little bit more. And then I took Noir and I lined underneath my lash line. Becca's Topaz Flashes Guilt is like one of my favorite highlighters. So I decided to put that all over my face, and in my inner corner, Cupid's bow, nose, I'm just tapping it all over. As you guys can see, I also applied some lashes. But I took the NYX Matte Lip Cream in Istanbul, and I just put that all over my mouth. I wanted the lips to look a little bit like messier, so I took Adorbs from the Give Me Glow Cosmetics palette, and I just like smeared it all over my lips basically. And with the Light Chaser highlight from Becca, I just tapped that to the middle of my lips. And that is the finished look, y'all. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys want to check out Alex's work, I will have it linked down below. Like this video if you like this video. Subscribe, it makes me happy. Hit the little bell if you want to be notified when I make videos. And I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Bye!